Listen, if you're seeing this video right now, that's a good sign. It's a sign that you're already successful. Now, you might hear me and think, Larry, why are you talking like that? What are you talking about? I'm not successful yet. I'm broke. I'm out of shape. My business isn't where I want it. My life isn't where I thought it would be. But hear me out. I didn't say you've already reached the finish line. I said you're already successful, because success doesn't begin with the money showing up in your account. Success doesn't begin when you finally lose the weight. It doesn't begin when the business starts to take off. It doesn't begin when people finally start recognizing your name. Success starts much earlier than that. Success starts when something inside of you says, I want more out of my life. And then you actually do something about it. The fact that you clicked on this video tells me something about you. You're looking, you're searching, you're trying to figure something out. You're trying to improve. And that already separates you from a massive number of people who have completely stopped trying. A lot of people have dreams. Very few are actively pursuing them. A lot of people talk about changing their life. Very few people wake up every day and intentionally work on becoming the person capable of creating that life that they want. And that's the difference. You might not see the results yet, but the process has already started. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they can't see the result and that nothing is happening. That's not true. Think about almost anything that grows. For a long time, the work is happening underneath the surface. Nobody sees it. There's no applause. There's no trophy. There's no big announcement. There's just work. You're building habits. You're changing the way you think. You're learning what works. You're learning what doesn't work. You're making mistakes. You're getting back up. You're slowly becoming somebody different. And then eventually, the outside world starts to see what you're building on the inside. That's why you cannot judge your future based on what your life looks like today. Today is just a snapshot. It is not the final picture. And I want you to understand something else. You don't need to have everything figured out. That idea destroys people. Then they think they need the perfect plan. They think they need confidence. They think they need motivation. And then they think they need more money. They think they need somebody to believe in them first. You don't. You need direction. And you need enough courage to take the next step. That's it. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the next step. Then the next one. And so on and so forth. And eventually you look back and you realize you've traveled a distance that once seemed impossible. But here's where people get stuck. They get excited. They start. They work hard for a few days, maybe a few weeks. Then the excitement disappears. The results don't happen fast enough. And suddenly they start questioning everything. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe I started too late. Maybe everybody else has something I don't have. No. You're just in the part that nobody posts about. You're in the boring part. You're in the part where the work feels repetitive. You're in the part where you're giving more than you're getting back. You're in the part where your discipline is becoming tested. And that part matters. Because anybody can work when they're motivated. Anybody can work when they're winning. Anyone can keep going when everybody around them is cheering. But what happens when nobody notices? What happens when the video gets no views? What happens when the scale doesn't move? What happens when your business has a bad month? What happens when somebody rejects you? What happens when you fall off for a week? Who are you then? That is where your future gets decided. Not in the big moments, in the small moments that no one sees. The moments you want to quit, but you do one more rep. The moments you want to stay in bed, but you get up. The moment you want to give up on your diet, but you make a better decision. The moment your business idea fails, and instead of saying, I'm a failure, You ask, what did I learn from this? That is success. Success is not a destination. Success is an identity. It is becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. And let me tell you something that took me a long time to understand. Your confidence does not come first. Your actions come first. People are always waiting to feel confident before they start. That is backwards thinking. You build confidence by doing hard things. You build confidence by keeping your word. You build confidence every time you tell yourself you're going to do something, and then you actually follow through and do it. That could be getting up at 6 tomorrow morning. It could be going to the gym. It could be making one phone call you've been avoiding. It could be recording your first video. It could be applying for a new job. It could be launching the business. It could be saying no to something that is pulling you backwards. Every time you do that, you cast a vote for the person you're trying to become. And eventually, after you've cast enough votes, your identity starts to change. You stop saying, I'm trying to get in shape. You become somebody who trains. You stop saying, I'm trying to build a business. You become an entrepreneur who works on their business every single day. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined. You become disciplined. That shift is powerful because once your identity changes, the actions get easier. Not easy, easier. You're no longer negotiating with yourself every day. You know who you are. And that's why I want you to stop asking one question. Stop asking, how long is this going to take? That question will make you feel miserable. Instead, ask, who do I need to become? Because if you become that person, the results will eventually follow. Maybe not on your timeline. Maybe not exactly the way you imagined it. But you will move forward. And another thing, stop comparing your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20. You're looking at someone online who has money, a following, a great physique, a successful company, whatever it might be. And you're comparing the result to your beginning. You have no idea how many years they've been working. You have no idea how many times they've failed. You have no idea what they sacrificed. You have no idea what happened before you discovered them. So use other people as proof that something is possible. Do not use them as evidence that you are behind. You are not behind. You are on your own timeline. But your timeline still requires action. That part matters. I'm not going to sit here and tell you just to believe and everything will magically happen. It won't. You have to work. You have to sacrifice. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to do the things that you don't feel like doing. There are going to be days where motivation is gone. Good. Those days are opportunities because those are the days you get to prove to yourself that you weren't depending on motivation in the first place. You were depending on the discipline, and discipline can carry you places motivation never will. So here's what I want you to do. When this video ends, don't just swipe to the next motivational video. Don't spend another hour getting inspired. Take just one action. Write the email, make the call, go for the walk, start the workout, open the laptop, create the plan, delete the distraction, apply for the opportunity, record the video, do something. Because information without action changes absolutely nothing. Motivation without action changes nothing. Dreams without action change nothing. The life you want is built through action. And maybe right now you're thinking you wasted too much time. Maybe you're 30, 40, 50, 60. Maybe you're looking backwards and thinking, I should have started 10 years ago. Maybe you should have, but you didn't. And that's gone. You can't change it. So stop paying emotional rent to the past. You've already paid enough. The only question that matters now is what you do with today. You still have today, and today is powerful. One good day won't completely change your life, but one good day can start changing your direction. Then you stack another one, then another one, and eventually those days become weeks. Those weeks become months, and those months become a different life. That is how it happens, not overnight, over time. So if you're watching me right now and you're feeling like you're struggling, if you feel like nobody sees your effort, if you feel like you should be further ahead, I want you to remember what I said at the very beginning. The fact that you are still here is a good sign. You have not quit. You're still looking for answers. You're still trying. You're still fighting for something better. And as long as you keep doing that, you still have a chance. Do not underestimate what can happen when somebody makes a decision and refuses to stop. You do not have to be the smartest person. You do not have to be the most talented. You do not have to have the best connections. But you need to keep showing up day after day after day. When it's exciting, when it's boring, when people believe in you, and especially when they don't. So take this video as your sign, not a sign that success is magically coming to you. A sign that you need to go and get it. You're already on the road. Now keep walking, keep building, keep learning, keep getting stronger. And whatever you do, don't quit, because the results are taking longer than you expected. Your story is still being written, and the next chapter starts with what you do today. If you're ready to stop talking about the life you want and start building it, comment, "I'm not done," and then prove it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon on the next video.